everyone, and welcome to the Paulie Throws Center at South Bay Athletic Club, where we just had the LA Throws Cup. Unbelievably sunny day. It is now 5:51. I've been out here since 10:15. I haven't worn an ounce of sunscreen. I haven't been in the shade at all. As you can tell, I'm suffering quite a lot, but it was worth it. The $73 Uber I took to get here was worth it because we had a good day of throws today here. And, you know, the Prefontaine Classic was really fun to do, so I'm going to try and one-take this thing too. We started the day off with, I believe they were like the California High School Hammer Championships. I don't know if it was actually, because I don't know if it was like their like unofficial state championships or whatever. I think that's what it was marketed as. I hope I'm not lying right now. But big shout out to Corinne Smith, who won the girls competition at 46.02, and Logan Marvilla, who won the boys competition at 54.60. Now let's get into these elite fields because they were pretty stacked. Women's disc kicked us off, and good battle between Veronica Fraley and Shelby Frank. Veronica came out on top 63.96. Shelby threw 62.23, which I believe is the second best throw of her life, just behind her PB she threw at NCAAs, where she threw 63.37. So heading into USA's now, Shelby has strung together the best two competitions of her life. Shelby, if you see this, you owe me an interview because you disappeared. All right, but for Veronica, it was so good to see because she opened her season. I talked to Veronica a little bit after. I might put a clip in here. But Veronica, she opened her season so well, throwing 68.70, something in that range in Ramona. Like, couldn't ask for a better opener than a huge PB. And then her next couple meets were kind of up and down. She was like hovering around the 60-meter mark. I think she threw like 4 times, and her best mark was under 61. So it seemed like she was kind of falling off a little bit, but now this is someone who's made the last 3 U.S. teams, and she's peaking at the right time now.
Yeah, it's perfect timing, honestly. You can't be mad at it. I mean, I've been working all year. Obviously, first year out of college is a little difficult for everybody. Trying to get used to balancing, like, work, track, things outside of life, but I'm happy where things are going. Getting confident going into USA's. Can't complain. I'm just really happy with the way things are going, and that I'm finally being able to execute the things I've been working on.
That was a big thing we talked about, where she's building her season perfectly, basically, because she threw a shade under 65, 64 high at Ironwood a couple weeks ago. Granted, she did finish behind 2 Americans there, so that's not ideal, but it's trending in the right direction. But she takes the win here, Shelby Frank is going to be, like, she's a tested championship competitor. We saw that at trials last year, where she made the finals in the disc and the hammer. We saw that at NCAAs this year, where she PB'd in the disc and the hammer. So, like, Shelby's going to be a challenger for one of those 3, because Loggy has the spot locked up. So there's 3 free spots for the U.S. team to Tokyo. Like, Shelby is going to be a competitor there. So for Veronica, beating her head-to-head here, it's a really good step forward. And like I said, 63.96, and she threw 63.39 in round 5 just before that. Like, that's really good to see from Veronica and Shelby. And then Taryn Golszewski of Australia threw 60.66. And then Estelle Valianu threw a PB of 59.23, which is backing up a big PB she threw at NCAAs to finish 8th or 9th. I forget if she was the last first-team All-American or the first second-team All-American. But she's in pretty good form right now. So really, really fun competition, even with only 3 women over 60. Only 3 women over 60. That's still kind of a luxury. Men's hammer throw, this was the big one I think everyone had their eyes on coming into this one, because you had Rudy Winkler, who's standing like 40 feet away from me right now. Rudy Winkler coming off his American record at pre, competing 6 days later, and it wasn't quite an American record, but the series for Rudy today, 77.63, 79.25, 80.46, 80.03, 80.47, 80.37. He was throwing that thing today. Good Lord. 4 throws over 80, And it was really entertaining because he was very clearly very annoyed after every single throw. And like sometimes you'd be like, but then sometimes you're really just like, come on. It was really, really funny to watch. And then you're like, I'm not the best at gauging distances just visually yet, because I haven't seen a lot of really big throws in person. So I was like I can't really tell how far that is, but he doesn't seem happy about it. And then it's like 80-47. And I'm just like, and I talked to him about it after. It is like a luxury that he has where he can be somewhat dissatisfied with a mark like that.
It's what we want right now, right? I would rather have a day like this following last week where I threw 83 than to pop off another 82 and then be inconsistent all over the place. Like, the goal is to raise the floor, and I feel like that was very indicative of today.
But yeah, like it's just really interesting to see someone at that level. And like we saw Ethan at this level last year, and it felt like nobody was going to get there. But Rudy's right there with him. We saw that at pre, and I'm sure we'll see that again in Tokyo. I don't know if Rudy and Ethan will go head-to-head now until Worlds. But after today, you know, I said before pre, I'm like, even if someone beats Ethan, I still think Ethan's the favorite. It might be because I had a really fun 5.5-minute interview with Rudy that is in full on my Twitter and Instagram. I've never spoken to Ethan, but I'm a Rudy Winkler truther now. Rudy Winkler is my gold medal favorite for Tokyo. So yeah, that's a big development in the world of Paul Hoff-Mahoney. And he was talking about how the ring, it's a pretty fast ring here, and so on turns 3 and 4 is when he was getting a little bit messed up and just kind of not necessarily finding that finish today the same way he was in pre. And he doesn't have another competition on the schedule until he's back at USA's, and he's back at Hayward. So now he's just going home. He's got 2.5 weeks of really good training to get ready for USA's, and I'm so unbelievably excited to see what he'll be able to pull out there. And then down the list, I mean, this was essentially U.S. Championships preview, and behind Rudy, of the guys battling for those second and third spots, which honestly this year, with the way he's been competing, it seems like the past couple years has just been like a foregone conclusion, basically, that Rudy and Daniel Ha are going to go 1-2 in some order at USA's. That doesn't necessarily seem like the case here today, because Daniel, he was struggling a little bit, and like I said, the ring was a little fast, so maybe that was messing with him a little bit. He found it a little bit in round 6, going 74.03, but he finished 5th and was the 5th American today. Trey Knight threw 75.61 to take second, and I didn't realize that Trey threw 78 at the Portland Track Festival like 2 days before before he should have been at NCAAs, theoretically. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise he wasn't, because he goes up to Portland, throws a huge PB, and, you know, he threw 75.61 today. He threw 73 high, I think, at Ironwood. And there's a lot of variability in it feels like diminishing to say it, but in like the guys behind Rudy this year. But there's a lot of variability in there as we move towards USA's. So that's going to be really interesting to see play out. Justin Stafford hit a big season's best to finish 3rd today at 75.56. Alex Young threw 74.24. And then, like I said, Daniel was 5th in 74.03. So basically, you add Tarek in there. And, I mean, there's some guys like Tanner Berg, like Kier McKeague, who threw well at Ironwood. But this was essentially the field at U.S. Champs. And Rudy comes out on top. That's not a surprise. But it's going to be so much fun to see what exactly happens in 2.5 weeks and how much it mirrors this one. I will say I was slightly disappointed by this competition in one very specific way. And that's because I checked the start list last night, and my boy, Kostas Zoltos, was on the start list. And I show up today, and Kostas is nowhere to be seen. So that made me a little bit sad, because I love watching Kostas throw. But alas, saved us some time, because they didn't have to keep adjusting the the wings of the hammer cage because he's a lefty. But would have been nice to see Costas here, but oh well. Moving on to men's disc now. Let me tell you guys about Alex Rose. He comes out here today, round 1, and smashes 67-52. I would have loved to talk to Alex today. He disappeared as soon as the competition was over. I don't know where he went. That made me kind of sad. But Alex is a guy, he made the Olympic final last year pretty much on a knee that needed surgery like a week and a half later. So he makes the Olympic final, immediately has surgery. He's building back this season. His wife had a kid in mid-June, I believe, or in mid-May. I believe that's their second kid, so congratulations to them. But he's having a lot of things, and he also, I believe he works a full-time job. So he's got a lot of things working against him throwing far. But his first couple competitions this year, he even went to Ramona, where, he threw 70 for the first time in 2022. And he threw I think 63.8 maybe was his best mark at 2 competitions there. But it's been a while since he had thrown last, and he comes out here and just smashes it on his first one, and then puts together a decent series with 65-81 in round 5, 64-49 in round 3. So, that's good. And I got a special report from my new friend Jake, who was out collecting the discs for that event. And he said out in the sector, it was pretty windy here, kind of near the cage. In the sector, completely dead, he said. So, and it's going to be interesting, I think, to see if this is him just starting to kind of really build back into form. He doesn't have to worry about U.S. champs or anything because he represents Samoa. He got the standard today, so he doesn't have to worry about qualifying. He's going to be in Tokyo, barring an injury. And I'm super excited to see what this build continues to look like for him and what he'll be able to do in Tokyo. Behind Alex, another one where it was essentially a USA's preview, where you had Sam Mattis come out as the top American. Basically every American that would theoretically be in contention at USA's in 2.5 weeks was here, except for Andrew Evans. But Sam Mattis goes 66-77. Sam's also standing 50 feet away from me behind the camera right now. But yeah, Sam came out 66-09 in round 3 and then 66-77. And that's his best throw since April. He opened his season with his first PB since 2019 or something, and then goes to Ramona, throws 70 2 times in the span of 4 days. But then he was very open about it. His European circuit did not go well. It's difficult to kind of compete across the Atlantic Ocean. And so it was really good to see him. And he said, it's a good boost of confidence that he needs going into USA's, where he's been the top dog the last couple years. He's made every team since Doha, so he's made the last 5 in a row now. But this year, it's just so competitive, and there's so many guys that are going to be jockeying for position. I was speaking a little bit to Joe Brown, who finished 6th today, 5th among Americans, throwing 62-92. And he was yeah, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. It's going to be a fight to the death. And so maybe I'm sadistic because I can't wait to see that fight to the death. But yeah, it's going to be a really fun one when they get to USA's. Robbie O'Tall had a really good day. 6 legal throws. 64-40 in round 6 was his best. But he also had 64-31, 63-24, 62 high. Really good series put together for Robbie. He has the standard from Ramona when he threw 68. And so if he finishes top 3 at Tokyo, this is a guy who also has a full-time job, is going to be representing the U.S. in Tokyo, throwing discus. And that's just, I love Robbie. He's such a nice guy. I interviewed him in Ramona. I talked to him a little bit today. He's a great guy, and I really hope there's a lot of great guys in this U.S. discus field. There's just a lot of great guys and gals in throwing in general. But, man, seeing Robbie make a U.S. team would be really, really fun. Reggie Jagers was 4th today, the 3rd American at 63-89. Marcus Gustafson, foul trouble early, but kind of pulled it together. Ended up at 63-66, but I know he probably would have wanted more. So yeah, good competition in that men's discus comp. And then finally, we wrapped it up with women's hammer, where Janae Casnavoid just kind of dominated, which expected. It's Janae Casnavoid. There were 2 women today that threw over 70. Janae and Jillian Shippey, who threw 70-69. And Janae had, 3 throws over 70. She had the 3 best throws of the competition. 72-95 in round 2, 71-27 in round 4, 73-46 to close it out. She picks up her first win of the season because she's been throwing really well. But when you're at competitions like the USA Throws Festival in Tucson, you're at you're at Kip Kano, sometimes you can throw really well and finish 4th or 5th. So it was good to see Janae kind of get that one on the board. And she's done now until USA's. She's just going back there, locking back in on some training. And golly, women's hammer in the U.S., just scary thing to behold. But Janae, it feels like she's ready for this year. I asked her a little bit about kind of how she's responded to what happened in 2024, where she finished, I think, 6th at trials, didn't break 70. And really, really good answer from Janae to that one, so I'll play that here.
Yeah, it's just kind of, this is the career path I chose. This is what I do full time. I am a hammer thrower, the good, the ugly, the bad, and everything in between. So if that was a moment where I needed to be humbled and to come back stronger, we're definitely working to do that. And again, it's just learning to be confident in the ring and working on what I need to work on, what I can control, and I think we'll be okay going into USA's and hopefully making the Tokyo 2025 this year.
But yeah, so the US is insane. Cameron Rogers stole our bye. So we've got 7 of the best women in the world fighting for 3 spots. I don't know how it's gonna play out exactly, but I like Janae's chances because I don't think she's going to let what happened last year. I don't think she's going to let that happen again. Come hell or high water, I think we're going to see Janae Casson-Avoid in Tokyo. For Jillian, good day for her. 70-69, had another throw over 70 as well. And then, yeah, they were the only 2 over 70. I mean, it was a solid competition for 3rd through 6th were separated by less than 2 meters. A lot of women threw. I think this ring can be kind of hard to throw in. Rudy was talking about it, where it's really fast. I think there is maybe a little bit of a learning curve to it, and I think we saw some of that in the women's hammer because of the top 7, 5 of these women, of the top 7, of the top 7, 6 of these women had their best throws in either rounds 5 or 6. So I think that's just kind of a sign that there was a little bit of learning curve. A lot of people didn't really have super great days, specifically in this women's hammer. And so that's another thing that makes me feel confident in Janae, because she was saying she was super excited to get into this ring. And then when you combine excitement with the fast ring, that can kind of work against her. And so she was really trying to tone it down as the competition went along. And then she finally got that in round 6 and went 73-46. So really fun day of throwing here in LA. This was the 3rd throws only meet of the year that I've been privileged enough to go to. When you look at Ramona, the WSPS in South Carolina, and then this one, the throws are amazing. The throws community is amazing. Shout out to Conor McCullough for organizing this whole thing and all the work he does with the South Bay Athletic Club. This was a great meet. I can't wait to see how it kind of continues to grow, even as the landscape of track and field is sometimes it feels like it can be kind of slipping away from the throws, but we're doing a good job of making our own places. And this is a place that I think has a really lot of potential to see some really great competitions in the next couple years. So I'm excited to see what's in this meet's future. I'm excited that I was able to be here today. And next up on the Paulie Throws National Tour, we're going back to Eugene. We're going to be at the USA Championships. That's going to be insane. I can't wait. I'm going to see Joe Kovacs throw in person. That's pretty sick. Hopefully I'll see Ryan Krauser throw in person too. And there's a lot of people I haven't seen throw in person. Well, now I've seen Rudy throw in person. I've seen Sam Mattis throw in person. I've now seen Janae throw in person, but Brooke and Deanna, never seen them throw in person. I've seen Curtis Thompson throw in person, but yeah, I'm super excited for USA's. It's going to be a fun one with Sidious. Hopefully, they'll let me out of my cave and onto the live shows to talk about the throws for half an hour, so stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys updated. Oh, here comes Audrey.
I just wanted to say hi. I think we're officially the last people here.
Yeah, it is us, Connor, and a couple of the people that work for him here at the South Bay Athletic Club, which is the way it should be, honestly. Audrey got some photo and video today. Unfortunately, not of the women's discus. She had prior obligations, but men's hammer, men's discus, women's hammer have never been shot better than they were today. So, I mean, those posts will probably go up before I get this video edited. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, check out Paulie Throws. Check out P. Hoff Mahoney on Twitter. Thank you guys for watching. Audrey, say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow the podcast on Spotify.
Please send us some sunscreen. We've both been in, it's 6 p.m. We've been outside since 10 a.m.
Yeah, we are in trouble. We are going to be peeling so much. That will not be fun. But the throws are fun, and today was fun. Ready? And so that's all we've got. And we'll see you guys next time. You got a point.
Oh. Are you going to finish the hurt?
That's for the throws. We love the throws.
Yeah, we do.